Welcome to the Phoenix music scene on the YetiRadio.com.
It's alive!
The Yeti. The Yeti Radio. Powered by DavidLeeImaging.com.
All right, let's get to work.
3, 2, 1.
Let's do this.
The Phoenix music scene on the YetiRadio.com.
Everybody, please welcome Dead West to the Yeti Radio Studio for an amazing interview opportunity for the Yeti. Welcome, everybody.
What's
How's everybody doing?
Hello. How's it going? I can't see shit. No.
Oh, man. Let's see. Silly craziness for me. I never expected the invite to be accepted in the beginning.
Well, it takes a while to get a hold of us.
Yes. The fun part was I think the invite went out just before the announcement.
For Rocklahoma.
Yes.
Yes. It was right before Rocklahoma.
And I was like, and then that came out, and we were still waiting on you to come back from Europe.
Yes.
And then I was like, and then you said yes, and we set a date, and I was like,
yeah.
And then the other local band that's going up there with you guys also.
Color Chaos.
Yeah, they're going as well?
No.
What? Oh, wait.
No, to Rocklahoma.
Stonebreed.
Oh, Stonebreed.
Yeah.
Stonebreed.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I'm getting confused, man. Tell me what you're talking about here. Jeez.
Rocklahoma.
They're actually out
I play with like 5,000 other bands. You know?
No, there's another local band that's going up for that weekend.
Yeah, they're doing that weekend
up
too.
as well. So that was pretty awesome that I had both of you signed up for interviews and everything. But how was Europe?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, it rained like, my wife and I usually go on trips to Europe, and it rained just like it did on our honeymoon. So we're used to it. But then we had sunshine. Then when we got to Paris, there was lots of trash. Unfortunately, the trash men were on strike. They wanted to raise the retirement age, and I don't think any of these guys wanted to be working until they were 100 years old. So they were like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. So, but I mean, if you looked up, everything looked great. Didn't smell great, but
Right. All right, we're going to go ahead and start with the intro song real quick. Here's your new single, Little Old Mexico, right here on the Yeti Radio with Dead West live in the studio.
Gonna drink some tequila and sip my margaritas.
So Dead West, live with the Yeti on YouTube and Twitch. Oh man. So trying to set all sorts of things up to make sure everything's running right. This is what happens when you do it all by yourself. You don't have anybody helping you.
I know. I always a train wreck when I do things by myself too.
So we'll start on the left side. We'll let you please introduce yourself and.
Your left or our left?
Stage left? Stage left. I'll go.
Stage right, house left.
I'm Jay. I go by Jay or JT. Drums.
Crowstorm bass.
Vinny Sky, vocalist, band manager, tour manager, social media manager, Facebook manager, love manager. I hand it over to John. You know, I mean,
you forgot about whiskey connoisseur.
Oh, whiskey connoisseur, traveling wheelbarrow. I mean, wheelbarrow, something like that. Yeah. So.
I'm another one of the new FNGs, John McLaren, lead guitar.
Peterson, hot rod, guitars.
Hot rod.
Sleazy.
So, what does Dead West mean?
I don't know.
How did you come up with the name?
I was watching, let's see, it was quite a few years ago, and it was late night with somebody, and I said, wow, that'd be a cool name for a band, and I just came up with it and didn't realize that it's a name of a movie. I told my wife, I was like, hey, Dead West would be a cool name for a band. And this was like 2013, I came up with that. And around 2014, I started putting the project together. It took me a while to get the right personnel along the way. You know, we've gone through guitar players and bass players, stuff like that. 2017, I had a lineup, and our very first show was opening up for Lita Ford. You know, so it was kind of kicked off. It was great. You know, so we had a lot of fun.
That's awesome. So it all came together around 2017.
Jimmy Ellis used to be the original lead guitar player, and if anybody knows who Jimmy Ellis is, God rest his soul, died of brain cancer a month after we released the first album, which he wrote most of the songs on that album. So we still give him a shout out from time to time, and we thank him for his contribution. And there were so many people that loved and supported him. And the year before that, I released a record that a former drummer and I did called the Jimmy Ellis Project. And there was a lot of people for that opening. I only had like 100 CDs made, so if you ask me for them, I only have, downloads, so that's all I got. But anyway, Jimmy Ellis was a member, and I hired a young kid from Canada named Connor Sutton. He was a really good lead guitar player, and we brought him in, and we started moving forward a little bit faster, and we end up, Jimmy wasn't feeling as good, so he stepped down, and we brought in Mr. Hot Rod over there, and been a great asset ever since, and it's been smooth rolling. And he's, Jimmy tried to make it to the shows, but being as sick as he was, he could never make it. So
totally understandable. The newest members, how did you feel when you got brought on?
I saw these guys back in 2017, and they were on my list of bands that I wanted to play with. In that moment, my wife introduced me to Vinny, and I've been out here. I'm born and raised in the States, so I've known pretty much every musician in town for forever. So
didn't know me.
And I was watching them, and I'm like, man, I want to be in that band. It's my style. It reminded me of a lot of what I did in my first original band when I was younger, and that kind of style. So Vinny actually called me and said, hey, we're going to be doing some studio work and want you to work on some other songs in the studio. And so I started doing my thing with adding the solos and changing a few things up just to like, hey, can we try this or try this, and let's move this around. And shoot, I think we got into the room one practice, and they're like, dude, you want the gig? I'm like, yeah, I do. As a matter of fact. So it worked out good.
You just wanted to play with me.
I did, yeah. That's really what it is.
I've seen that already. We don't need to see that again.
So what about you, Hot Rod?
New
When
member?
you got brought on.
When you got brought on.
Vinny and I are the last two remaining from that.
The last two from
2017 lineup. So
okay.
Unfortunately, with the previous members, it was just things weren't moving the way we expected them to, and we wish them the best, and we want the best for them, and so we just moved forward because we had a lot more things planned, and they actually came together once we decided to make the change and move forward. They wanted to do a little bit different style of stuff, and we wanted to keep it a little bit more bad boy rock and roll. A little whiskey drinking don't hurt nobody,
Right.
And have some fun. So we wish them all the best, and hats off to them, and hope they do good at whatever they do. But yeah, last year, it was kind of, was it 2021? Oh no,
22.
22.
Yeah, it was.
I was actually in Europe. I was in Scotland, London, and Ireland, and at that time I called John right before I left, and when I got back, I just had like new drummer, new bass player, everything set. So all I had to do is get them all in a room and tell them to get their ass to work.
Awesome. I don't know. The question is, what are your biggest career highlights so far? But opening for Lita Ford right out of the gate.
Well, when that was our very first show, and it kind of kept going that way. We kind of really just try to drive towards opening for national acts. We've headlined several of our own shows.
Right.
We had our own little soiree up north in Flagstaff in 2020. Right after COVID hit, it was we still had it was an outdoor event. It was a backyard barbecue thing, and it was cool. It was fun. Every time we play or share the stage with a national act, it's always a highlight for us, because most of the guys that we've been opening up for have been guys that we grew up with. Like my third show with as Dead West, we opened up for Jack Russell's Great White, and we end up doing a mini tour with them right after that.
Nice.
So it was like several months of hanging out with Jack and the guys and stuff, and he's always been a big influence upon us, because if you look at the credits on the first two albums, you'll actually see his name in it, because he's really inspiring. He's an all-around great guy. I remember when I first met him was like 91. I met him at the Sarah Mosque in Pittsburgh, and it was Great White, Tesla as co-headliners, and Badlands opened up. And it was the most awesome show I've ever seen in my life. And after the show, I got to meet Jack, and I started talking to him, and he gave me some ideas for throat tea that I actually still use today. And when I did that first show with him, I told him that, and he was like, "Oh, really cool, man!" So it was kind of really cool to actually have that interaction with him, and it just kind of gives me goosebumps when I think about it. It's just good. Still part of one of your vocal heroes. And then I think one of my favorite highlights was opening up for John Corabi. Matt and Connor they were on stage. We did an acoustic show at Last Exit Live with him, and the banter the whole night between John and us and everything was just awesome. He's always been one of my all-time favorite singer-songwriters, and just having this opportunity to share the stage with some of these great musicians that been around for a long time, it's amazing. It's just fun.
Absolutely.
One of the coolest things for me is my first show with these guys was at the Whiskey.
Autograph and Hurricane.
Autograph and Hurricane, and
wow.
these are bands that I'm a child of 80s metal. I grew up on Headbangers Ball, and
We all
you
do.
know, I'm open.
Exactly.
Yeah, we all do. But, you know, and I'd watch Headbangers Ball religiously, and they talk about the whiskey all the time, especially when Ricky Rackman was on there. He was part owner of the Cat House, and they talk about the whole LA scene. And so I grew up watching things about that place and at that place, and like the Decline of Western Civilization movie, you know. And then my first show with these guys is on that stage. That was like a big time highlight for me. That's like one of the coolest things, and it's just been one after another since then. So I mean, I couldn't be more excited to be sitting here.
Right? You know, I have to agree, because for me it would only be walking through the front door.
Yeah, you feel it when you go there. It's
Even
it's
though
got a
I was
cool
on,
vibe.
I'm sorry. Even though I was on the East Coast, I know the places.
Yeah.
I don't know all of them, but there are certain staples that you look at and go, okay,
That's one of them.
that's definitely bucket list material.
Which
so-
we're actually we're back there next month,
May
May
12th.
12th.
May 12th.
Direct
Playing
support
with,
for Lynch Mob.
Lynch Mob, yeah.
More
Whiskey
heroes.
Go Go. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I want to see Lynch Mob, but I have one song request, and I don't know if he still plays it. The Beast Part 1.
Yeah.
That's on his solo.
Yeah, it was on a solo. But so who you have any music, or do you have any influences on the non-musical side of the house for coming into a music career?
Any influences non-musical?
Yes.
I mean, when I was growing up, I was in a pretty musical house. You know what I mean? My dad used to party with, Dr. Hook. I used to get out of my bed in the middle of the night and go, "What's all the ruckus down here?" I'm like fucking 9 years old. And I get down there and these guys are jamming and they're smoking dope and drinking Mad Dog and TJ Swan and having parties. And I'm like, wow, this is cool. Oh, I got told to go to bed, but I was sitting on the steps listening the whole time.
Watching, learning.
Well, there's an image, isn't it?
I'm listening through the squiggly lines, just kind of like TV.
Well, that's pretty amazing. That's actually one of my favorites growing up. So that's an awesome story. So you don't have any outside influence because it's all music. That's amazing.
It's my outside influence. Generally, I have a lovely new bride, and she's been like pretty much the backbone of a lot of things that I do. She's been a big support, takes care of me, very understanding, and just to have that influence that helped you get through things. Because sometimes it's not so easy.
No.
And you just need somebody to just kind of pick you up, brush you off, and tell you it's okay. That's kind of one of the most. I really don't have a lot of family left anymore. Got my sister, but she's 2,000 miles away, and and everybody else. I don't talk to my mom, and my dad's dead. So
Right.
Musical support family is a huge thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
To keep you going, and
because it's definitely one of the more difficult careers when it comes to the aspects of making it or not making it.
That's a lot of work.
Fighting through it and keep pushing forward. And sometimes you hit that brick wall and you're just like, ugh. So definitely. Are there any pre-show rituals?
Girls.
By that he means he listens to
But by the time he gets done blowing them up, he's tuckered out. Jeez. But anyway, girls.
That was just cliche. I had to do it.
Our wives are gonna watch this shit, man.
I had to do it. It's cliche.
She's gonna want to drive home, and I know what's gonna happen.
It's funny that you say Dr. Hook, because I have
Oh, there you go, Jay. Bust it
I
out.
haven't had a drink.
You're cut off.
I have a GIF image of a cover of a Rolling Stone,
There you go.
and I've been trying to play around with creating one, and not succeeded yet because it's kind of tough to compare to what they've done.
Right.
So definitely doing some learning. But let's see, songwriting process. Where does it start?
Well, it starts somewhere when we're asleep at night and go, damn, this would be a great song. Then we wake up, we forget the damn thing, and then we go in the studio and we start messing around, and then we come up with something different.
That's something entirely different.
It's something entirely different.
Pretty much.
Well, I mean, I usually write a lot of the lyrics and stuff, so, and Matt comes up with a lot of the riffs, and, you know, previous members have done the same, and with the new members, you know, I mean, we're just getting ready to go back in and start doing the writing process all over again, and start working on some new material over the summer. We'll lay low after our 12th show, our May 12th show, but that'll be our writing time. Matt goes and spends summers in the Midwest. So,
But
Awesome.
that is kind of a tough question, though, because if you think about how songs develop from the past, whether it's the first record up to now, it's never been the same formula.
Okay.
They may have just come together by accident. They may have been worked on a lot longer. They may have been almost complete songs coming in and just refined. So
Like the new stuff that
they all
that we're
work
doing
differently
now.
how they get there, which is
Yeah.
there's no formula.
like, one of the songs that's going to be on the next record is originally written back when Jimmy Ellis was in the band, and we never put it on a record, and every time we played it out live since 2017, the crowd just sings along with it. So we said, fuck it, we got to do it this time, and we're going to put it on the record. So we did, and, you know, we got it done, and that's still that piece that keeps going through, and you know, which we appreciate.
cool,
So the next process will be something a little bit different. Somebody's going to have a different idea, different lick, and, you know, it comes out from there. And sometimes it's when the mood strikes.
Right, exactly.
I mean, like the song we're going to perform today, I actually wrote like 15 minutes in my car right before I walked into rehearsal one day, and I said, hey, let's play this, you know, and I took a riff that he had, and we wrote a whole song right then and there, and
I mean,
so
it was pretty much done.
Yeah, it was done right
I mean,
after that, so it was cool.
The arrangement was pretty much done. It didn't change. The lyrics came in, they didn't change, and I was like, that's it. It was one of those 5-minute ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Awesome. No,
we won't tell you what it is yet.
No, that's why it's a surprise.
Because everybody's going, wow, that song sucks.
It doesn't suck.
Did I practice that one?
So,
It doesn't
Yeah, right?
I'll jump ahead since you brought it up.
Okay.
This song, the fans sing it while you're on stage. Put that feeling into words when that happens.
It's the most exciting thing I've ever had done. I mean, I've been doing this since I was like 16 years old. And when I was younger and playing out and touring and doing all that stuff, it was fun, you know. And I always had like a little bit of stage fright, and but I always went out there and it's balls out. But I was always drunk, you know. So when you get to the age that I am now, damn. Shh, shut up.
Sorry.
Be quiet over there. You're in the background. You be quiet. So anyway, it just comes down to the point is when just recently we've been doing Little Old Mexico live, and when we do Other Side live, it's like, and the crowd singing along with it. It is like, and you put that microphone out there, and they come back, and it's like that just me chills, you know, and all of that, like, you know, stage fright. I mean, from the very first show, it really took a lot of that away, because we did Other Side that night for Lita Ford, and it was like, as soon as I walked on stage, I was like, okay, and we hit that song, and it just went away. It was just awesome. So when you get that rush and the crowd's joining in and they're having fun, it's the most amazing feeling you can have. You know, you're up there, you know, and people were singing along to it. Like John said, when we did Little Old Mexico, they're already singing the words, and we haven't even released it yet, you know, and they were like, wow, this is like so cool, you know. Like, it was pretty cool.
That was neat. I saw when we opened for LA Guns the last time, there was a big group of people in front of me, and I didn't know any of them. And I'm watching them, and they were singing almost every word, and I'm like, wow, you guys have been paying attention. This is cool. So definitely a neat feeling.
Well, and that's how we
And
kind of
that's
do
why you-
our
that's why
writing
you do
process
it.
too.
Yeah.
Is that we want songs that people can enjoy and sing along, and they can kind of they feel it themselves. They can feel that interaction of the song and the words, and they already know it's coming next, and they're just like, yeah, this is so cool. And then they just go home singing it, and and they look it up and try to find it, and then it's just. Got to make it. You don't want to make things complex. You want people to have fun. That's what rock and roll is about. Having some fun.
Mm-hmm.
There was
Anarchy.
Lots of fun.
when we opened for Vince Neil not so long ago, I was talking to a guy by the bar at the Marquee afterwards, and he was like raving about that song. He was like, dude, that song was worth the price of admission. I was like, okay, right on. So
that's
definitely really cool.
Yeah, that's nice to hear.
So what's your favorite song to perform?
Our own or others?
Well, I don't know what other songs.
Yeah, what other songs do you
Just in general, the songs you've ever played.
We're an original band.
He still likes playing Captain and Tennille, so that's all
Hey,
good.
that was the first
Must
concert
have
I ever
you're
went
all
to.
about that, aren't you?
Right? I don't know.
Captain and Tennille was
Man,
my first
I know
one.
Mine?
I know mine.
You guys go ahead. I want to hear you guys.
Mine's easy. We got a tune called Shopping Cart Jesus.
Yeah.
That's my jam.
That one's on the next.
That's a cool
next
one.
album.
Yeah.
That's going to be coming out, and I wear that one a little close to my sleeve. Can I get that?
You won't shave the beard
I won't
until we
shave
take
the
the
beard.
photo.
No, I won't do
Until we
that.
take the photo of him and his
exactly.
Jesus.
Once we
daughter.
finish the video, then the beard might go away. But until then,
No, the beard
it's staying.
stays.
It's staying. Yeah.
The beard stays.
Yeah,
I'm going to say Hell Dorado.
that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I told these guys, to me, it's just like a modern day Born to Be Wild.
Yeah.
That's a good
Definitely.
one.
For me, it's kind of a toss-up between Shopping Cart Jesus and providing I don't fuck it up, Lover.
Yeah.
Every time.
Not every time.
He's like a clock. He's right twice a day.
I'm right twice a day.
I commend you.
Don't
for
worry. There's been other people that make bigger mistakes. But anyway, what about you, Matt?
Oh, that's a tough question because I'm going to say any of them. Any of them, no matter what order, whatever the set list is, it doesn't matter. Because I've been there playing them for years.
And you're just
So,
having fun.
Yeah, exactly. None of them are get old.
Now
none
they're
of them
all
are,
fun to play. I agree with you on that.
I can't pick one.
Well, I
Yeah,
commend
that's
those
so
of you that have picked one or two because I can't pick one.
Well,
I'm like him.
I can't.
I listen to and just listen.
Right.
It's just.
Yeah, I can't pick one either. I mean, I like performing them all. And have fun with each and every one, and each time we play a show, a crowd reacts different to a different song, and so it's the reaction that you get. I think as we go along as musician and as this band goes along, I think the music is definitely evolved to where I think some of the newer stuff is definitely going to be more ear-catching and more to the point to where it's just going to be funner to play because there's a different excitement on the stage with this dynamic of members. We all enjoy it. There's that whole point of being up there and performing and having a good time and just making it happen. And sometimes you get into a rut. People just don't move the way get into that same vibe. So as this dynamic, and when we did our first show at the Whiskey A Go Go with Autograph, I mean it was on point. And then we did LA Guns the month and a half later, and that was just an awesome show. I mean that place was so packed. And we had a great time with that show. We were direct support for that one, and direct support for Vince Neil and Stephen Piercy. It was quite fun. So, yeah.
I was going to say, I've noticed here, Vinny will usually put the set list together, send it out to me. I'm like, that's cool, but why aren't we playing this song, and this? Because we have enough now to choose from. That whatever ones are on the set, I'm happy with, but I'm always, man, I wish I wish we could play about 10 more every time.
Right.
So that's me.
It would be nice, you know.
I'm all about playing 2
That's
hours.
usually for our headliner, because when we did our headliner at the end of 2021 at the Marquee, we did everything. And one of the bands that was supposed to play that night dropped out of that show, and so we covered it. And so we pulled every song out of our repertoire, and we did everything, and we even did Heaven's Full of Angel acoustically, you know, right in the middle of the show. Like, you would go to an actual concert and you see these guys play for an hour, hour and a half, and they'll always break down, do something. And so we did it, and it was amazing. It was fun, you know. And so we're able to do that. I mean, it's just being, you know, a local band, you're opening up for a national act. The biggest thing is you only get a half hour. So we want to play more? Yeah, we would, but don't always get that option.
Right.
So
your next headliner could make it just a Dead West show and just call it an evening with Dead West.
Yeah.
And then play everything.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
You know, that might be sometime in 20...
That'll be next year.
24?
I'm working.
We're working on it. We'll
Okay.
work on it. We'll work on it.
That might be a release party or something.
If you could play any venue in the world, where would you want to play?
Red Rocks, Denver. Easy.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Red Rocks, Denver.
Is it Mason? Oh, no. I already did that.
Been there, done it.
Been there, done that, yeah. And yeah, if you're listening, you still owe us money, Franco.
He owes you money. He owes me money. I don't care about it.
No. Oh, what is... I don't...
Nobody else? That's it?
Wait, I don't know. It's kind of hard.
And are we talking in the U.S. or
In the
in
world. If there's a world stage.
I mean,
World stage.
Wembley wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, Wembley would be pretty cool.
That'd be cool.
Wembley would be pretty cool.
The Roundhouse.
Definitely.
The Acropolis would be okay.
I say any of them.
Yeah.
You know,
Just go play all of them.
let's play them all.
All right. If you could if you could collaborate with anybody.
Frank Hannon and Tesla. That would be one of my ultimate guitar players I would want to write a song with.
Okay.
I love Tesla. It's always been a big favorite of mine too. So
For me,
Look at 'em all
it wouldn't be
stumped.
so much a collaboration, but if I could sit one-on-one for a day and just learn and absorb from somebody, it would be Todd Zuckerman from Styx.
Okay.
Great drummer.
Awesome. Very awesome.
Wow. That's a tough question, man.
To hang out with and jam with, just pretty much what Jay said. I mean, as far as bass players, Billy Sheehan.
I knew you
Stu
was
Yeah,
gonna
you
say
know
that.
something about Billy.
Hey Billy, if you're listening,
Come hang out.
Troy owns as many Yamaha basses as you do.
right?
Here's an
Pretty
invitation.
He's
Let's
in
do
Rio
it
de
here.
Janeiro right now.
Yeah, he is in Rio. Yeah,
Don't worry.
Yeah.
We know where you're at.
If you get a hold of him, let's do it here.
yeah.
Right? It's a bass off.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say that's the same thing. I'd like to work with Portnoy. That'd be the same thing. Like to, yeah, that would be good.
That was the easy answer
Yeah.
for you too, I think.
Yeah, well, Petrucci too, but
Oh yeah.
but that's a whole different genre. Some things you listen to and love, but you just appreciate, and you don't. It's not what you want to play, but you love it and appreciate it.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
Me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Just these guys, man.
yeah,
Just these guys.
That's it.
Oh,
look at this love.
he's always saying that because he got a little loving last night.
I know.
He's trying to,
What do you
he's trying to get that bonus.
We like to have fun,
Right side
Dude.
and left side. Look out.
right? You the creamy middle.
All right, you know what? Hey, man, I'm taking that back.
He liked to play
Clown. Bozo show right here. I take it back. I don't want to play with them anymore. Assholes.
So, do we have a projected date for the new album?
Actually, we're gonna release another single, which is I'm proposing as it to be the title track of the album, and be the album that comes out. But it'll be released as a single. Now, this comes to where we say we're gonna have something special. This is the special part. Now we're gonna do. We have a new picture, a new shirt design, and if you buy the shirt, when you buy the shirt, put your email address in, you'll get an automatic email of the download of the song. So you'll get a free download of the song. Now the song we're going to release will be Die Like a Rebel. The album cover will have big old gnarly heavy, motorcycle on the front, and the back says Die Like a Rebel with the new logo on it. So, and then you'll get to download. That would be our next surprise, which will be coming up in a couple weeks. Got to go through, put all the work in, and we'll get that released. And hopefully, everybody that buys a shirt and gets a free download, because if you buy that shirt, it also helps us go to Rocklahoma, helps support us to make enough money to get transportation, pay for gas, hotel rooms. If you buy any of our merch or any of our songs, anything off our website, it goes to help us to go to Rocklahoma.
So we don't have to hitchhike.
So, well, I mean, with your legs, we'll never make it. But anyway,
I've got a great ass.
we ain't going down this path again with you and your ass, all right? But anyway, if you buy stuff off of our merch, off our website, our merch, it helps us get to where we need to go. Because after we play Rocklahoma on Friday, September 1st, September 2nd, we're playing in Tulsa. We are working on a tour on the way back. There are going to be more dates to be announced, soon, within the next month or so, to let you know when we're coming on the way back. So, if you guys can help us out, buy the songs, buy anything off our website, it helps. Because if you buy it, if you download it or pirate it, we don't make any money. So we can't go anywhere.
Absolutely.
We're stuck in this hole.
And
That should be hopefully another 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks that should be released. So
about ready to do the surprise?
Yeah. Do you want to play a song while we get set up, or did you only have one song picked out? I mean,
I've got the closer left. We can just kind of chill, and I can play something. Let's do. Let me pull it up real quick.
Play an extra song for him while we get set up.
Absolutely.
That sounds good to me.
We'll go with Eldorado.
Oh,
West, right here on the Yeti Radio.
I want me man in the wrong, looking for
experiencing technical difficulties. Please hold on.
All we need is a campfire.
That's my middle name.
Michael rowed the boat ashore. Hallelujah. Thank God for auto-tune.
Oh.
You all right?
We're
Matt?
back in the studio.
Nope.
And we have an amazing surprise for everybody. And this is also a first for the Yeti.
That's what she said.
It is. So I'll let you introduce your surprise.
All right, everyone. This is the B-side of Unhitched. It's called How Love Really Feels. That's why everybody screams, hey!
Hey! Awesome. Thank you very much. I hope that turned
Like
out.
that, Dak?
Like you need a microphone.
Like I need a microphone. I don't know why you handed it to
Yeah, I was
me.
gonna say,
I think the people next door were like, what the hell is that?
jeez.
Only because I wanted to try and balance them a little bit better.
Nah, I get you.
Huh.
I'm just messing with you, man. Just messing with you.
Well, now the next band will sound great.
Yeah. Yeah, you get the sound check.
That was your sound check.
There you go.
Yes.
We're always willing to help out with sound check.
Oh, that was definitely awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fun.
You guys are pretty amazing, and I'm looking forward to being at the next show. So
May 7th, the Valley Bar,
Valley Bar, yep.
downtown Phoenix, $12.50 at our website. No service fees. Grab your tickets now, because once they're gone, you're going to be paying more at the door. So grab them now. Get on it.
Yep.
absolutely.
So what other questions you got for me?
Ask us anything.
The technological changes in the industry.
Oh, don't get me started.
Well, I know it's just
It's
the
not
differences.
the technical knowledge has come a long way. I mean, with being able to do home recording in studio at your house or anything else like that. Our last recording, we actually went down to full well recording with Mike Bolenbeck, and him and Kobe people were
Amazing.
We had a great time at full well. The experience we had there was just above what we've had before. Like the first record, a friend of ours was like, "Oh, hey, I got a friend," and I don't think we were able to get the same grasp on that first record. So it kind of held us back a little bit. The second record, we went to Byron Filson over at Villain Records. He was really good. We did what we had to do, but this time we wanted to make a little bit difference and a better mark. Between Mike and Colby, they have this ear that they just really knew what needed to be put behind behind the songs, and so when you listen to Little Old Mexico, that production, they helped us put it together and help tweak little things like little vocal parts, little guitar parts and stuff. I mean, the input was phenomenal, and so their technical, using new technology, even mixed with old, which we felt better with because we got to use, go back, and go like old school studio type feel with a new modern twist. Like some of the delays on the vocal. I mean, Mike literally had to stand there and hold like one wire and something else. We were waiting for him to get electrocuted. It was amazing. We were like, "Come on, Mike, fly!" So it was pretty cool. But we had rehearsal last night, and we had it over at Troy's place, and so different places we tried to rehearse at. I mean, you go in a room, you can blast it, be really loud. Last night we did everything with in-ear monitors, so nothing was really loud except for the drums and the vocals, which is definitely a different technology. Yeah, when it comes down to the music business itself, it's changed tremendously in the last 30 years. To where back in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, it was like you can just go out and hopefully get a record deal. And now you got to do everything in your power to get people to notice you. Mm-hmm. And it's so easy for people to just pull stuff off the internet and not care. I mean, I get messages all the time from people going, "Hey man, send me your song, I'll play it on the radio." I mean, giving you free songs doesn't help pay for us.
Right. Absolutely.
I do have repertoire with some of the radio stations that are listed on our website, and some of the ones that aren't there just yet that I will be adding shortly. But we send them stuff for a reason, because they play it. They just don't say, "Hey, send me $40. It's my wine money. We'll play your song all month." They're like, "Well, you should play it anyway." What I mean? Absolutely. So there's a lot of scammers out there. It's really hard for independent musicians to make it. Anybody who's an independent musician should know how hard it is. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get anywhere not doing social media, not interacting with people, promoting yourself, promoting your shows. One of my biggest thing is I tell these guys that promote yourselves, because you're going to get back what you put into it. And previous members not quite as much, because it's like, if I have to wait and I have to do the work, that means you don't really care. So I tell everybody, if you're in the music business, promote yourself. I mean, don't wait till the last minute, because nobody's going to know who you are.
Nobody's going to show up. Self-promotion.
They were like, who you in? Who you playing?
Right.
I mean, I go out, I got Dead West shoes, I got a Dead West shirt, he's got a jacket. You can buy our clothes, wear it around. Say, hey, I know these guys. They're a bomb.
It can work two ways, too, because
I saw a homeless guy the other day and gave him a Dead West shirt, actually.
There you go.
Like, hey.
Right? I was in O'Reilly Auto Parts the other day and saw this guy, and I noticed his tattoos and noticed the shirt he was wearing, and listening to him talking, I heard him say, I was on my way leaving band practice, and I was, an inn, So I was like, who you play for? And a local hardcore band called Life and Limb. I'm like, okay, I got to check those guys out. And we started talking, and I play for Dead West. We have this stuff going on. So there's any opportunity I can find to steer a conversation to promote the band. Not myself, because I'm not I'm a part of this group. I will find
It's okay. You'll be there someday.
One day. I'm a small part of this.
It's okay, Junior Woodchuck.
You'll grow your hair out.
You'll
I tried that. It didn't work out.
Shortly. Don't worry.
But yeah, for other bands, I've been playing a long time, and this is kind of the
Yeah, he got really excited.
Yeah. But
when I told him, hey, we're opening up for autograph and hurricane, he was like,
yeah.
His wife, like, you know what he just did.
Yeah. But don't shy away from talking about your band or telling people about your band. Whatever it takes, you've got to get it out there.
I mean, we like supporting our friends too, the local bands, Color Chaos. We do a lot of shows with them, and it's pretty much a lot of the shows we do at the Marquee. Like, we're playing with them again at Sunday with Classless Act. So, which is another time to share the stage with those guys. They've been good friends of ours for a long time. And Matt was going to say something, and I rudely interrupted him. I apologize. Whatever. So, you go ahead and say what you got to say.
So, to kind of put an end to the question you asked there, if it was 35 years ago, we definitely would have had a record deal, no doubt about that. Right?
Absolutely.
But it's just not there anymore.
Right.
It doesn't exist anymore. That business is gone. Right?
Yeah.
Artist development, the whole A&R, management just jumping on everything that comes with a deal is just not there anymore. So what you have to do is just like what they said. You gotta sell yourself.
Yeah. Support your locals.
Yeah. Right.
Support your fellow musicians.
It's a different time.
And no matter if they play a small show or big show, I mean, if that's your favorite band, pay for the $5 tickets or pay for the $35 ticket. I mean, either way, that's the way you support bands, by buying their merch and stuff like that to help them move forward. And it just nowadays, it's like, oh man, you're all the way over here. I can't get there. I'm like, I understand Arizona's a big place.
Not that big.
Come on, seriously. I mean,
cut that shit out.
It's like we're gonna be playing Tulsa and Oklahoma and Texas and stuff, and this is a place to where we're building a fan base. So we're promoting. I mean, we're getting out there. We're talking to people that are in Texas and in Tulsa, and being part of the Rocklahoma pages, the party pages, trying to talk to those people and let them know, hey, we're out there. We're going to be there. Come check us out. We're going to take some merch with us. We're going to sell CDs and records.
And we get to rep Arizona when we go.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I have to tell you, looking from the outside in, because when you accepted and picked a date and time to come do the interview, I was excited. I was really excited. And then I started seeing all the posts once I shared the event. And I was like, wow, they seem like they're as excited about this as I am.
Well, we're excited about everything that we do. I do all the graphics, and I do all the flyers and stuff. And as soon as it's done, I change the headers. Everybody gets the copies of everything, and they can update, you know, send it out and promote. And I love to see the promotion, you know, because that doesn't mean I always have to do it, you know. And it's just not one person; it's an entire band, and each one of these guys makes this band what it is.
Absolutely,
you know. So, and for that, I thank these guys for doing their part, because each step that we take forward, because, you know, we had an opportunity a couple years to play Rocklahoma, and that kind of fell through because certain people just didn't want to do certain things. But this year we had the opportunity again, and as soon as I emailed the promoter, he played a game like, oh, well, I hate to break it to you, like it was a sob story, but you guys are playing, you know. It's like, so we were like, okay, great, you know. So we were like, oh, geez, so like we missed it again, you know. But no, he's been wanting us to play Rocklahoma for the last couple of years, and when I had to turn him down a couple of years ago, it really broke my heart, you know. And I was just like, oh, and it was just because, you know, when you have people that conflict with certain things,
right,
you know, and it makes it difficult. So, but with these guys, you know, it's like, hey, here's what it is, and I always give them notice, you know, because I do a lot of the bookings, and they're more than welcome to book and feel free and, you know, fill everybody in on the loop. But when I do the bookings, I always ask them, what dates do you have available, which ones you can do, which ones you can't. Everybody does have a day job, or like John and Troy are both in other bands, and
all the other bands.
They make all the other bands, you know, so I got to check with dates to make sure. And if it's far enough in advance, they'll be like, you know what, I guess we ain't playing that show, you know, because they would rather play a nice big show like Rocklahoma. Than,
of course.
Oh man, I gotta play.
Honestly, I can't.
Dirty Martha's again.
I can't think of anybody that offhand that wouldn't want to, but apparently there are.
Considering we're playing the day Godsmack plays, so we're playing on September 1st at Rocklahoma. So Godsmack headlines that night. So
yes,
this will be cool.
That'd be good.
God, I wish I could go to Oklahoma.
So does everybody else. You know, we put it up there. Go to rocklahoma.com. You can get tickets. A lot of their campsites are getting filled up. So if you want to go, get on it. I mean,
rent a porta potty.
Yeah.
Rent a porta potty, or grab yourself a trash bag and shit in that for a week, man.
So 5-gallon bucket.
Just out of curiosity, what is the process for some of these festivals, Rocklahoma or any others, as far as trying to get?
The process is not easy. It's a little bit harder to, unless you know a promoter or something that's willing to give you a chance. We tried a couple other like Live and Loud. We tried to get into that, and we actually had to go through a whole Twitch program to where they would play our song live, and if people voted for it, and as long as it made it to the end, we would get nominated to actually play the big stage with a national act. Obviously, I don't think I haven't heard anything, so I'm not quoting it and saying we didn't do it, but it make it a little bit more difficult for just any schmo band to get there. You know,
right?
You have to put the work into it. You have to get your fan base into stuff. For bands that have like maybe 200 followers, it's gonna be really hard for you to get in something. I mean, we have over 12,000 followers just on our Facebook alone. It's a little different for Instagram and TikTok and all that other stuff. Those are programs that we get into and we start rolling through. But the more times you post, the more stuff that you do, and they see that you're doing the work, it helps. So promote, get fans, promote your website. Make sure you have a website. Don't put something cheesy together. I mean, I pay a good chunk of money for a nice website. So when you go to our website, you can see our EPK, you can see pictures of past shows, you can hear music, you can buy stuff. I mean, everything. You can, chat with a band if you want. I kind of took that part off. I had to at one point. I was just like, okay, I got too much stuff up here. So, but anyway, so we try to interact with people, try to get people to like the pages, send friend requests out, get people to listen to stuff, promote the music, promote yourselves. I mean, you're never going to get it if you just think you're just going to sit on your butt and go, well, I can do this. I can just, it doesn't work that way. I mean, we put a lot of work into stuff, and it's still really hard. I've gotten lucky with a few things, and some of the stuff is, I got really good people, really good promoters that I've worked with, and they're really, very helpful. So
that's awesome. Being we grew up in the same eras, the differences between a successful music career when we were growing up as opposed to today.
Well, I mean,
what today would you consider successful?
I would say this is successful today.
Yeah,
this is successful.
Feels pretty
today.
successful.
This is fun.
I would agree.
It's a big accomplishment in being successful as far as a band being able to do the things that they want to do.
Right.
Being successful is, as far as money wise, any national act will say today that you make no money touring, because venues and everything else since COVID hit have actually inhibited them making money. So it comes down to the point to where they feel successful by putting out music, and if people are still buying it. And that's where we feel like if you're buying our music and you're buying your merch and you're supporting us and you're listening to us, you guys are making us, successful, and as being, accomplished as musicians, and feeling, honored to, have fans like the people we do have that listen to us.
Yeah, I was just saying, and a weird part of successful is when you play a show and you finish up and somebody you've never known comes up and goes, "Wow, I really enjoyed that song," or, you guys did something and it reminded me of this, or whatever it is. Then you're like, okay, yeah, it makes you feel good. And then you're like, okay, this is why I do it, to bring somebody happiness with music, or to connect with somebody, on the other side of that stage. That's a cool thing.
You make eye contact with them.
So that's kind of
the song.
That's kind of your.
And they're rocking out.
That's kind of your instant gratification.
Yeah.
Just girls.
It doesn't.
Just girls.
Just girls.
Just girls. Just chicks, man.
As long as they got their own oxygen pump.
That's it.
But to add to his point, there's a radio station in England, or Welsh. Welsh Gene, he plays this on his radio station, and one of the very first songs he played on his station was "Heaven's Full of Angels," and he played that for a young girl that was suffering from cancer, and it made, the whole band was just like, whoa, because we literally, when we put that song out, and when we first did that song, the first time we played it, there was when the can't think of his name right now, but Chris Cornell. We wrote it for Chris Cornell like a couple hours after he passed, and then the year after that was Chester Bennington, and then the year after that was, so every time we would play that song, it was always to represent somebody we lost. And I lost my dad, and then we lost Jimmy, so we definitely played that song, and almost every time. And when we did our headliner, we just lost Charlie Watts, and we dedicated it to him, as well. So that song has a huge meaning for me personally, as it goes all the way around. It makes me feel really successful that people like that song. Even a guy came up to me and asked me if he could use that song for a remembrance thing for, somebody else, and I was like, sure, go ahead. Whatever you do with it, right? But yeah, that to me makes me feel successful. It's when people want to use something or be part of or they connect with what you have, or what you wrote.
The connection.
Yes.
Very nice.
What's kind of funny though? Looking back, what you said about bands from the 60s and 70s, we all thought they were huge, living lavish lifestyle, and they had a lot of money, and we find out later on that they really didn't.
Yeah.
It was kind of like our thing. That's what we wanted to do. I want to make millions of dollars doing this. They never really did. They owed everybody this. They were in debt for here and there and there. And they sold, 2 million.
And
they didn't make anything. They
walked home with, come on, He's been dead for at least 100 years.
Yeah, his body just doesn't know it yet.
The cocaine is still like up here, dude. It's keeping him alive.
Oh man, it's so. What do you have a process, or what do you do if you come across a creative block when you're in the studio trying to get something together?
Hey, honey, give me a bottle of scotch and wake me up in 3 days. As far as creative blocks, I mean, as this group right now, we have a lot of ideas that are flowing. So we haven't experienced a creative block here. I generally do sometimes on lyrics. I mean, a lot of singers will have that. I mean, and it's stressful because you know you're like, you think about one thing, and I'll be writing something at like 3 a.m. and my wife will roll over and go, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm writing a song. Yeah. Don't interrupt me," you know. And I'll put it down, and I'm like, and I wake up the next day and I'm reading it, and and I'll send it to John or I send it to Matt. And say, "What do you guys think?" That's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. Is that all you got?
Garbage.
Like, so I go, all right, back to the drawing
What time
board.
was this?
That's the title of the next song.
You are drinking
garbage.
Garbage with inflatable dolls.
Yeah. Did you drink scotch?
All right. Here's my weirdest question, because I've only asked it once, and when I heard it, I'm like, it's very intriguing. So, picture No More Dead West. Okay? And you're starting again. Do you want to be the A musician in the B band? Or do you want the B musician in the A band?
I'll take the B and the A.
The B musician in the A band?
Absolutely.
Collaborative.
Sure. Because that one's going to make the most money, I think.
Spoken like a rhythm guitar player. I'm just saying. And that's why I love him. And he's like, "You want to take this lead?" No. Okay, good.
But at that point, in that A band, the one making the most money, so winning.
Okay.
All right, Keisha.
Kesha?
Kesha.
Who's Keisha?
Is it Kesha? I don't know.
Who's Keisha?
Good gosh!
But he knew who it was.
How do you not know Kesha?
I don't know.
She comes on TV, you get literally hit with a nipple in your face.
Oh, that's
Come on.
Is that who that is? Ooh. No, that's not. Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Okay, you guys going to answer the question or what?
They're still
I
pondering.
don't know.
Yeah, I think I concur with Matt.
He gets the C band.
Yeah.
He needs a seeing eye dog.
Yeah, for sure.
I know my drums are here somewhere.
Don't you think that's a better option, though?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
you're starting over.
You're starting over.
You're starting over. So forget everything up to this point.
Forget everything that you already knew.
Right. Forget it.
Oh, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Only
I'd be a guitar player. I wouldn't be a drummer.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I'd never be a drummer. You got to carry too much stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Nobody ever.
And nobody else.
I never want to be a guitar player.
Well, I will tell you, when I was local crew at a job that I had, the drum kit was one I always enjoyed helping the roadies help set up, because it was just fun. I actually got to help set up Simon Phillips.
Oh, nice.
When he was going around with Toto, so that's
cool.
I like drummers.
I like helping set the drums up. I like putting them in the wrong spot.
See, that's the weird thing, though. With I don't know if it's all drummers or maybe it's just me or what, but I'm really anal about how my drums are
Had to use
placed.
the word.
I really
Had
did.
to use the word.
I couldn't think of picky isn't descriptive enough. Like I'm really like I trust any of these
Trust
guys,
me.
but just any
Anybody's
Joe.
picking
Like
your
if
anal.
just some guy at the venue who's out back while we're loading in goes to pick up my drums, I'm just like, no, don't fucking touch them. I got this. I don't want any just random Joe touching.
Does that whoa? Does that happen?
It has, yeah.
Where?
When
Did you hear him
Joe's,
threaten me?
when Joe's
He
Grotto
said,
was
"You
open,
ever jump on my drum set?"
I tell every band that I'm ever in, if you ever stand up on my bass drum, the way Bruce Dickinson does to Nico in Iron Maiden, I will fucking stab you.
Oh, I'm doing it.
Period. Try me.
Fucking random.
You're going to do it on the 7th? Because I want to see it.
Yeah,
I'm going to take pictures.
Now you're going to come out, right?
I was already coming.
All right.
You're like, the guitar player's gonna die. We gotta go to that show, man. God, it's gonna be like Jason Voorhees all over again.
Keep broken sticks just for that purpose. So
He's gonna be dying with his rubber dolls and everything.
and turn around with a green scorpion percussion stick sticking out of his chest.
Girls.
But to iterate on that, I would probably say Matt's option as well, but as a singer, the problem is it doesn't always work. You know.
Well, because you're one of the ones that's most times the alpha to begin with.
Yeah.
So
and they don't necessarily, and you can't replace somebody.
Right.
If somebody's excited, and they love that band, and somebody comes in and they're like, "Yeah, you suck," and be like, "But I sound good," And they're like, "No." I mean, I think there's been a lot of good choices of replacement singers in some of the bands. Only because the point is, I thought the music turned out better. But I mean, my example would be John Corabi from Motley Crue, because that album is still one of my favorite albums that they ever did.
Too.
Yep.
I mean, and the only thing is, I always get musicians that agree with me on that. But everybody else that isn't music, they're like, "Oh, I hate that album." I'm like, yeah, because Vince Neil wasn't there.
I'm like that with Anthrax and Scott Bush.
Yeah.
Or John Bush.
John Bush.
John Bush. Yeah.
Scott Bush.
You just got Bush on your brain.
Scott Bush. Hi, Scott Bush here.
It's Keisha's fault.
Yeah. You know Keisha?
Yeah, I know Keisha.
Yeah, no. Bush. John Bush knows Keisha.
I know it's John Bush.
John and Keisha Bush.
John and Keisha Bush.
Yeah, they lived on the block.
I swear I was on my way here, and I thought my GPS kept telling me to go to make a left turn on Blow Me. I'm like, what? Why is she telling me to blow her? And I'm like,
So, what's your favorite local venue to play at?
Marquee is definitely our favorite. We had a great connection. I mean, Donnie Johnson, when he was working there, he definitely was like, get out there, bust your butt, and he no joke, no holds bar. And then Tracy took over his spot after he left, and they got new things going on. But we always like playing the Marquee just because we feel like at home at that,
On that stage.
on that stage.
We own that bitch. Well, at least I do where I am. I don't know.
where you're at. Your little
You're
5
That's 3 foot of real estate.
It's expensive real estate.
Yeah, it is
though.
expensive.
High
real estate.
taxes too.
I mean, we one of our other favorite venues was BLK Live when it was there. And
We own that bitch too.
Well, we did. And we were the
Now, that
last.
actually is a true statement. That's not being funny. We really did own that fucking.
The last pure rock show they did there was Jackal and Dead West.
Mhm.
And it was the loudest show.
Period.
And when they heard that we were coming back, the neighbors signed petition and closed the doors, because we were supposed to do a show with Gilby Clark like 2 months later.
Yeah,
And we sold all our tickets. We were ready to go. We show up to the venue and the doors were locked. And it had nothing to do with really like the owners. I mean, it was right next to the airport, so it had nothing to do with the management or the owners. It had to do with the public. They didn't like the music, and when Jesse James shot off his shotgun at the end of the night, I think that scared all the white people in the neighborhood.
That pretty much scared everybody.
Yeah. They're like, they're shooting guns, run! But it was so loud and it was so great.
It was fun to play though. It was fun to play though.
That was a great venue.
It really
was awesome.
Everything
fun.
about it. The whole vibe of everything about it, from when you first get there.
Yeah.
Sound check. Everything about the place just.
Yeah, it was
fun.
It
was magical. It was a magical place.
So if they ever come back, we're gonna.
Yeah, we'll own that bitch again.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to the next show myself. So I will be there at all costs. I don't care if I have to go kidnap a babysitter.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Hey, now.
Whoa.
You just did not say that.
He's kidding.
Beep, beep, beep. This is not who we
Edit.
Oops, it's out there.
I can't take that back.
Can't unring that bell.
Yeah.
So, any more stories?
Oh, we'd be here all night. I don't know if you got that kind of time.
Yeah, one or two more.
One or two more about what? Chicks?
Chicks? Last time we talked about chicks, the guy got mad in the back of the truck. No, I'm just...
What else?
Okay.
What other kind of stories?
So, what else states have you played in?
California,
Right.
quite a few times.
Right.
Arizona,
Right.
quite a few times.
Right.
So this will be our very first time going to Oklahoma and Texas and New Mexico. Trying Colorado, and I've been trying to get us in Vegas. One of these days we'll get there, and quite a little southwestern type thing so far. I got some connections in Tennessee that we're going to work on, and Matt's got some connections in
Illinois, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
So let me work on that yet. Just
Yeah,
hold.
we're so great.
yeah, I know, right?
He's not even done with the house.
Plus, I mean, I was just in France in the Chateau La Briance that I stayed at. The owners are really nice, and they were like, "Oh, maybe we should come out in the summertime and play some music with Duff from the Cult." So I was like, maybe I might. You never know.
Maybe.
European tour would be okay.
European tour.
Come on.
I mean, we did have some friends. One of my favorite bands we opened up for was Bullets and Octane, and the members he has now are not the members that we've met back in the day, but the members that they moved on to another band called the Mercury Riots, and the drummer, he does a lot of overseas booking, and when we did that show with them at the Rebel Lounge, he was like, "You guys would be great in Europe," and he said, "You guys want to do a European show?" And we were like, "Yeah!" And 6 months later, COVID, screw it.
All right, I have a good story. I have a good story about that show, though. You want a good rock and roll story?
Absolutely.
So there was another band, I think, right? I don't even remember the opening for that
the way
show.
opener.
I don't even remember. But when it was us hanging out with those guys from Bullets and Octane, just a couple of them, I think they had some kind of agenda to get us intoxicated a little bit before we went on.
Yeah,
because
the guitar players.
Yeah, right.
I'm like, where are my guitar players?
Right, because they were, we were backstage.
They were
having a little fun with them, and it just kept going and going. And I still think to this day, maybe not, but that it was just kind of the MO to let's knock these guys off their game. Because if we could both go up there going, right? Maybe they were a little intimidated. I don't know. Maybe they were
little sabotage, maybe.
Yeah,
Sabotage.
Absolutely.
They tried,
Right.
but they were like, "You guys kicked ass."
Nice try. Something harder than that.
Right. I'm like, damn. I'm like, well, we are a whiskey drinking band, so it might take a little bit while for us to get here.
I don't even remember what it was. Yeah.
It must have worked.
Apparently. Well, I do want to thank you guys for joining me. I really appreciate it, and
hope you had a good time.
Had a blast.
Yes.
Learned a lot, and learned I need to calm the fuck down.
Don't be starstruck. I've only did a few movies.
No, I just like I said.
What movies have you done?
You remember the Knuckles Man?
Oh, that's right.
But I wasn't expecting it, so it was definitely a huge thank you.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely, and I look forward to having you guys again.
Yeah, fun.
Whenever you got something going on, let me know.
Come back after Rocklahoma.
Yeah.
Man, you wouldn't believe what happened.
the shit
Shane
that
blew
went
out
down.
the window.
And Matt had all the girls.
Chicks.
Thank God, because we need tires, man.
Yeah, we got chicks to buy tires.
And we lost the serpentine belt, so we used all their bras.
Yeah, it worked.
All right, give me your G-string. Let's go.
Funny.
Well, again, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dead West on the Yeti Radio, and we're going to close out tonight with their song Lover, right here on the Yeti Radio.
Turn it up.
You bitch and complain, baby.
the Yeti Radio. We had Dead West in the studio, and we're going to go hang out a little bit and call it a night. But thank you for joining me, and stay tuned. We got New Music Monday coming up Monday. I still don't know what time yet because of that work schedule that changed. But stay tuned, and thanks for joining us. And if you're catching it after the fact, thanks for watching it afterwards.
We can all be quiet and peaceable and have a few beers together and listen to the music.
The Yeti. Oh, yeah.